Shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for tuning in to In the Scripts. To my right,
Officer Yakub.
to my left,
Outside Maram.
to his left,
Officer Shema.
all praises to the Most High. We back at it. Another episode.
Yes, welcome
so, brothers,
back, Cap. Welcome back.
All
I wanna
praises,
welcome
all
you.
praises
Welcome
to
back,
the Most
Cap.
High,
Yeah,
man.
welcome
all
back.
praises to the Most High.
Yes, sir.
For those of you who don't know, we were in Suriname and Guyana. All praises to the Most High. The word went out, and the people were taught. So there's no excuse on that day.
That's right.
No excuse at all. Today we got a few topics. Although I did hold back some videos because we're going to have to make a class about that with the videos
All
that we're going to bring out today. We're not going to bring out everything because we want to turn it into an actual class.
All praise.
All right, but we're going to touch on a few things that's been going on. For those of you who've been sleeping under a rock, which is probably many of you, let's start with the first article. What we had? What was the first article with?
Let's deal with we're going to lightly touch on the situation going on with Trump and and Iran.
Now, you know, a lot of people don't know what's going on because you got the NBA, finals, whatever they call it, that's going on. A couple of other things in the news. Everybody's distracted, you know, with their own things in everyday life.
Right.
And they're really not paying attention to the Caucasian news network like that.
Right.
All right. But these are one of the articles. As you know, we're on the brink of World War III, but we know that's not going to happen because the scriptures has not been taught throughout the four corners of the earth yet.
That's right.
All right, and the Most High is waiting for that number. Before you get this, get that one right there, the one on the drones. All right, so as you may know, Iran, Saudi Arabia, who else? Israel and America, they're all at odds with each other. All right, but we know Saudi Arabia is an ally of America.
Right.
All right, so basically everything is over oil. Everything is over oil. Let's read that article real quick. It says, drones attack Saudi oil pipeline. Iran-backed rebels suspected. Go down. All right, go ahead. Somebody read that.
Yes, sir. An attack by drones loaded with explosives against the Saudi oil facility is the second such attack this week. Saudi Energy Minister Khalid al-Falih announced on Tuesday that 2 oil pumping stations for the East-West pipeline had been hit by explosive-laden drones. Al Masirah Television, a Yemeni TV channel based in Beirut that is affiliated with the Iran-backed Houthi rebels, claimed that the Houthis had carried out a major operation against Saudi Arabia. The report was picked up by Iran's Tasnim News and also by Press TV. The Masirah TV report cited a Houthi military official as saying that several drones carried out attacks on vital Saudi installations. On Twitter, Al-Masirah cited the official as saying, "This large military operation is in response to the continued aggression and blockade of our people, and we are prepared to carry out more unique and harsh strikes." This drone attack comes just 2 days after 4 oil tankers, including 2 Saudi tankers, were targeted by sabotage attacks off the coast of the United Arab Emirates. It is suspected that the attack against the oil tankers was connected with Iran.
Suspected, meaning they don't have full proof. It's a suspicion. It's a suspicion. Go ahead.
It is suspected that the attack against the oil tankers was connected with Iran. Tensions are high as the White House ordered the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier strike group and B-52 bombers to the region on May 4th to counter clear indications of threats from Iran to American forces in the region. The New York Times reported on Monday that a top U.S. defense official presented an updated military plan to President Donald Trump's senior security aides that included dispatching up to 120,000 troops to the region should Iran attack American interests or escalate work on nuclear weapons.
Now, notice, we'll go back up, sucker, right there. No. That last paragraph. There we go. Notice it says they dispatched 120,000 troops to the region, but nothing happened. All right? So they just basically was flexing their might. But at the same time, you know how the scripture says how when the elect is sealed, when that number is sealed, that's when the Most High is going to release the armies of the four winds, and that's when all the all the hell's going to break loose. All right, because Gad hasn't been sealed yet. You know, we experienced that firsthand at the powwow. You know, we went to a powwow to wake up Gad, and you could only count on what, two hands, basically, how many people really showed a deep interest. Although a lot of flyers were handed out. And then you seen what the other Gadite brother posted on Facebook recently. What's his name? Joseph Red Cloud?
Yeah, Joseph Red Cloud said he was. They should report it and
he took it as an insult that the Israelites was at the powwow.
Yeah.
To wake, and we, man, look, when we was teaching there, one Gadite came up to us and said, "Why are we not teaching the Black Panthers?
Right.
Why are we teaching them? He said, what does the black man have to teach the native man about his history?" So it shows you the major disconnect between the so-called Negroes and the native Indians, in which many so-called Negroes are actually Gad.
Right.
You know, they running around thinking they're Judah, but a lot of them might just be Gad and Reuben. All right, but it shows you, like, look, nothing is going to happen until the Most High said it's time for us to go home.
That's right.
And we do know, according to the scriptures, that World War III will be the last war. Get me that real quick in Revelation, the last war. You know what scripture I want? I think it's 14 or 15.
Yeah. Let's see.
Did you find it? Come on.
The Lord. I'm trying to find that one, Captain. You know, that's one I stayed away from for a long time.
I'll find it. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So basically, I mean, when you're looking at it, they're touting at it, right? They're touting at it. So that means that people need to be watching because Christ told us to be watchful and pray so that we understood the times. And right now, anybody not understanding these times, looking at the prophecies and the things that have been coming out, especially the classes that Bishop did on that, on Revelation 14, what was that, 19, 20, 21, I think. You know, dealing with those classes, man. If you're not watching and praying, pretty much, man, you sitting like a sitting duck, not even trying to cover yourself with the Most High's word so that you could be sealed and get out of here, man. It's crazy. But a lot of stuff that Trump is doing. I mean, with the I saw another lady. What is the Muslim sister from Somalia that is in Congress that's been
Was it Omar or something like that?
Yeah, Omar. Yeah. So she was just recently, man. I think it was yesterday, maybe. But she was in the House and in the Senate, House of Senate, and was bringing it out. And they were trying to shush her, man. But she was going in.
They were calling her anti-Semite.
Semite.
Right.
Exactly.
We're gonna read 13 and 14.
13 and 14.
Revelation. Call it out.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 13. Read it out. And the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell.
Now, this great earthquake is going into the thermonuclear destruction. Remember, America, Babylon the Great, is going to be wasted away in 1 hour. Come on.
And the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000.
That 7,000 represents the number of completion, so it's not exactly 7,000. Because we know it's going to be more, way more than 7,000. All right, go ahead. Come on.
And the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
So that tells you right there, the second woe is past, World War II is done, and cometh quickly is World War III. Now, the Bible only speaks about three woes. Okay, so this woe, this last woe, the Third World War, is going to be the end of wars. The end of all wars, which is going to usher in what? The return of the Messiah.
That's
The return of the Messiah. Did you find this? Go ahead, bring something up.
Okay. So let's go to the book of Joel, because I was just reading through this. Now this one I understood, dealing with Joel in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay.
Get Ecclesiasticus 3:24.
Sirach 3:24. Yes, sir.
Because in this same article, if you go back up, right there. It says it is suspected, and I know where that drone came from, but we're gonna save that for the class.
That's right.
It says it is suspected that the attack against the oil tankers was connected with Iran, and of course, Iran is saying no, we didn't do it. No, we didn't do it. But America doesn't have concrete, hardcore intel that they did do it.
Right.
So that's why in the video that Shema got, about to play, where the Edomite lady is saying, "Look, y'all staging this,
Right.
and everything is over oil." Come on, let's read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 24. Read out. For many are deceived by their own vain opinions.
So a lot of people are deceived by their own vain opinion. Come on.
And an evil suspicion.
And a what?
An evil suspicion.
All right.
Hath overthrown their judgment.
And this is exactly what's going on. But guess what? The white man's judgment being overthrown, which is going to cause him to go to war, that's a good thing for us.
That's right.
You know, that's a bad thing for them, but a great thing for us.
That's right.
All right? Because like I said before, them going to World War III is going to usher in the coming of the Messiah. But
That's right.
But like the bishop always says, we're not ready yet.
Right.
So the most what? Hold.
Simple things for the whole use of a man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil.
So you see what it says? And oil. So all of these articles that we read with Esau trying to go to war, a vast majority of it is because of oil.
That's right.
It's all over oil, natural resources. That's been his MO. Even when you read Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, verse 33, I believe, it tells you, he shall what? Spoil all the labors and the fruit of thy land. Guess what? The oil is the fruit of the land. Right. All right, we see that in Guyana. We just came back from there. We seen that over there.
Right.
There, all the oil fields, the gold mining fields, all of that is controlled by Esau. So Esau, he's thinking light years ahead. He said, man, we got to get this oil up out of Iran.
Right.
We got to get this oil up out of Venezuela. So what do? We form a coup d'etat in Venezuela. That's what's going on right now. Nobody's talking about it. Right. It's on the low. When we went to Guyana, there was a lot of people. That was a major influx of people of Northern Kingdom coming from Venezuela to Guyana. I spoke to one, and she was there looking for a job. She said she was an immigrant. I asked, where were you from? She said Venezuela.
Wow.
So a lot of them are leaving because of the war.
Wow.
You know, you got the current president fighting against the puppet that they're trying to put in office. The only good thing that the current president has for him is that the army did not betray him yet. The army's fighting for him instead of trying to overthrow him.
Right.
Like all these other coup d'etats that we always read about or hear about in the news.
Right.
All right, but everything is over oil. Remember not too long ago we did the show. We had an episode. We were talking about the Golan Heights. All right, nobody's talking about that. But a couple of weeks ago, what did Trump do? He acknowledged the Golan Heights in Syria, part of Israel.
Part of Israel. Right.
So what is that gonna do?
Oh, that's
Gonna give Netanyahu the support that he needs to go up in there. Because if America says it's okay, surely it's right.
Right.
And if you look at it, it's all about colonizing. That's all they're doing.
Right.
Exactly.
That's all they're doing. Esau is the same place all over.
Right.
All right, but I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that for the class. Esau is the same
see
place
you warming
all
up,
over. You got one that use politics,
Right.
and then you have one that's using religion.
Exactly.
One is pushing Judaism
Exactly.
under the guise of we are the Israelites.
Right.
And technically, Syria was for us. And because they're trying to expand it all the way up to Lebanon, just like the scripture says, right?
Right.
Then you got America over here pushing what? Democracy to all nations. We're trying to
Right.
save them from themselves. So you got one pushing politics and the other one is pushing religion. But they both the devil that the Bible
Right,
speaks
right.
of.
That's right. That's right.
All right. What else we got over here? That's it on that? All right. Close this one out. Let's go to the next one.
You want that video?
Yeah, let's play this. Hey, are they going to cut this? Because this is time. If we play this, I know we're live on Facebook, right? Every time we do a show, they cut it.
That's a good
Right.
question.
So are they going to, if we play this, are they going to shut us down? You don't think so? All right, so if we get shut down, y'all, everybody blame Soldier Jonathan.
That's right.
All right, so go ahead, play it. So this is the news. 2 Saudi oil tankers and a Norwegian flag vessel were damaged. And it's always a suspect. Never have proof. They suspect. Come on. Now, if you notice one thing, it says Iran, right? So you have Saudi and Iran, both similar, both from almost from the same kindred. All right, Iran are the Persians, but Saudis are the Arabs. But in this time, we classify them all under one branch. Well, that's what Esau does. Esau classifies them as Arabic.
Right.
All right, go ahead. So we see what's going on. Everything is suspected. Where's the next one? With
the lady.
There's one with Trump warning Iran.
Okay, yeah, that should be. Hold on, go back up. Hold on. No.
Did we put that up?
Yeah, it is up there. No, go down. Slow down. Let me see. Right there. See, it is. No. Right there. Yeah, it says President Trump warns Iran. Oh, that's the one.
Oh, that's the one? Yeah. Oh, okay. There was another one where he was actually verbally talking. But that's all right.
Okay. All right.
No, that's cool. No worries.
No, go all the way down.
Nope. That's not it. Nope. Close it out.
Nope.
That's
go up just a little bit. Just a little. Where's do we have the one on the lady who interrupted the?
Yeah, let's play that right there.
Yeah, right there.
And some of these videos that you're seeing, we might show again. We might just show it again when we do the actual class.
Yes, sir.
We still live? We didn't get kicked off yet? All right.
All right. So this lady, she's an activist, I guess you could say. So anytime something comes up, she's almost like a, I don't even know how to describe her. She's like the modern day, you know how in the 60s you had the flower children? And
I don't know what that is. I wasn't around in the 60s.
Okay, well, yeah. So there was a thing in the 60s called flower children, or the flower child. And they protested just constantly, you know, the wars, the war of
Vietnam.
The Vietnam War, and you know, all of the various things. So she's kind of one of those, but modern times. When she sees America doing something that she knows is underhanded, she goes out and she speaks out against it,
like a whistleblower or something.
Yeah, she's kind of like that.
All right, let's see what she's talking about.
Medea Benjamin, co-founder of the peace group Code Pink.
It is time for all nations to join us in holding Iran to a new level of accountability for its destructive behavior.
That's it, propaganda.
Exactly.
These guys are amazing, boy. Esau, they just do the same thing. It's over and over and over and over. They did the same thing for 9/11.
Right.
Go ahead.
Holding Iran to a new level of accountability for its destructive behavior, especially its lawless pursuit of ballistic missiles. Thank you.
Here she come.
That is the most ridiculous thing I have seen.
Esau
The world community wants to keep the Iran nuclear deal. Our allies are...
You know, hey, first of all, you know if that was a black lady, they would they would have threw her off the stage real quick.
She would have got body slammed.
Right, they would have
Shout out
tackled her.
Side.
They would have Michael Strahan her, man.
He said Michael Strahan. He
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, with a straight body slam.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
That is the most ridiculous thing I have seen. The world community wants to keep the Iran nuclear deal. Our allies are the Germans, the
if you wanna
French,
hold
the
it there,
British.
if you wanna hold
They
it
want to
there,
keep in
you
this
may go
deal.
to Europe.
The world community wants to keep the deal.
Ma'am.
Let's talk about normal
Ma'am.
countries. Let's talk about Saudi Arabia.
Ma'am.
Is that who our allies are?
Listen,
They are
listen,
the biggest
we're trying to allow
threat
people to hear
to
freely
the world
things.
community.
You need to.
And let's talk. You're hurting me. You're actually hurting me.
Well, you're hurting
I wanna ask,
you're hurting
do you
me.
think these
Ma'am.
sanctions are hurting the regime or are they hurting the Iranian people?
Ma'am.
They're hurting the Iranian people. You are making a case for war with Iran. How did the war with
Ma'am.
Iraq turn
Ma'am.
out? You're doing exactly the same
Hey,
thing we
she's blowing their cover, man.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
blowing
Because
the
you
cover.
know everybody was complaining about Iraq. They had, of course, they got the black man to pop it off,
Right.
Colin
Colin
Powell,
Powell.
right? And they had all these supposed satellite images of weapons of mass destruction.
Right.
Until this very day, there's no weapons of mass destruction. All of that was in the name of what? Democracy, like I said before, right? And for a so-called regime change.
Right, exactly.
You know, and the only regime that they were really thinking about was the American powers and allies increasing itself.
Right.
That's it.
Like
Go ahead.
It's the oil.
in the case of Iraq. We don't want another war in the Middle East.
Ma'am, look,
Let's
if you want to
see.
go outside and give
How
a
does
speech,
Iraq turn
you can
out?
do that.
How did
You wanna go
Libya
outside
turn
and give a
out?
speech, you can do
We
that.
have the
She's
people
bringing
of
it out.
Syria suffering. And how dare you bring up the
Ma'am.
issue of Yemen? It's the Saudi bombing that is killing most people in Yemen.
Wow.
So let's get real. No more.
Damn, they carried it out.
Wow.
Wow.
They
That's
closed
it.
this
That's
out,
it.
man.
She
But you
needed
know what? It
an
don't. It
afro and
doesn't
some
matter
hair.
how many of these people do this, because now they're trying to censor. Well, they've been censoring YouTube, Facebook, and all these other social media outlets. And it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Esau is going to do what he wants.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and the Most High is going to allow him to do it. Right. Let's get that in. As far as this war thing is concerned, let's get let's go to Second Esdras. Let's get Second Esdras. Second Esdras 15. Start at verse 38.
Yes, sir. The book of Second Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 38.
Actually, start at verse 37. I'm sorry.
Verse 37. And there shall be a great fearfulness and trembling upon earth.
Sorry. Start at verse 28.
Verse 28. The book of Second Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 28. Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east,
From the east, eastern hemisphere of the world. Come on.
where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth.
Come on.
That all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
Come on.
Also, the Carmanians,
The Carmanians or the Iranians, the Persians. Come on.
raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood.
As the wild boars of the wood. Wild men. Come on.
And with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Syrians.
Come on.
And then shall the dragons have the upper hand,
Come on.
remembering their nature.
Remembering their nature. Come on.
And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them,
Read.
then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power and shall flee.
All right. Stop there. Jump down to verse 37.
Verse 37, and there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon earth. And they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them. And then shall there come great storms from the south, and from the north, and another part from the west. And strong wind shall arise from the east, and shall open it. And the cloud which he raised up in wrath, and the star stirred to cause fear toward the east and west wind shall be destroyed. The great and mighty cloud shall be lifted up, full of wrath, and the star that they may make all the earth afraid, and them that dwell therein, and they shall pour out over every high and eminent place and horrible star, fire and hell and flying swords.
And that horrible star is making reference to the destruction. It says fire and hail and what?
And flying swords.
So this is how Ezra's seen it. He described it flying swords. Swords don't fly. He was talking about the missiles. Come on.
And many waters, and all fields may be full, and all rivers with the abundance of great waters.
So this is going into the destruction. That's what I said. Esau cannot stop it. It will be fulfilled.
That's right.
So no matter how much these activists, like you call it, get up and start talking and blah, 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 guess what? It's going to happen. The Most High said he's going to bring destruction, and that's it. Nobody can do anything about it. All right? All right. So let's move away from that. Like I said, I just wanted to touch on that. I ain't want to touch on it too much. I had a lot more, but I actually want to turn it into a class because it gets deeper than what you think.
There's one, can we go all the way to the bottom? Go all the way to the bottom. This article came out just recently. It says Russia, Putin put out a statement. As you can see, this was just last month. Russia, world no longer trusts U.S. to lead. It's time others step in to stop blackmail and pressure.
Damn, and you know Vladimir Putin ain't playing.
Right. At all.
That's a gangster, man.
So, yeah. So there's a short video here. Trump, talking the stuff Trump speaks. Let's see. Yeah, let's see what Trump is saying, and then we'll read a little bit of this article.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.
Okay. You can go down. We can read the. We'll just read the.
12 seconds.
12 seconds. Okay.
5 seconds remaining.
The wild boars, huh? Sounds about right. This guy.
Mr. President, what sort of complications does the Russian involvement now pose?
Russia has to get out. All right, what's your next question?
Wow. Dude is funny, bro.
The hell is this?
Oh, man, I was expecting some big. He's a Russia has some. Oh, man, go ahead, read some of this.
Funny. Russia's top diplomat has argued that the world is losing faith in the United States as a global leader, and that the international community has sought a more diverse approach to global decision-making. At an annual address to Moscow's Diplomatic Academy, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov held on Friday a new geopolitical era marked by multipolarity, stating that the emergence of new centers of power to maintain stability in the world requires the search for a balance of interests and compromises.
That's going into Russia and China and possibly Iran.
That's
Come on.
right. He said there was a shift in the center of global economic power from east to west.
East from west.
East from west, where a liberal order marked by globalization was losing its attractiveness and is no more viewed as a perfect model for all. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, our Western partners, led by the United States, do not want to agree on common approaches to solving problems, Lavrov continued, accusing Washington and its allies of trying to preserve their centuries-old domination in world affairs, despite objective trends informing a polycentric world order. He argued that these efforts were contrary to the fact that now, purely economically and financially, the United States can no longer single-handedly or with its closest allies resolve all issues in the global economy and world affairs. In order to artificially retain their dominance, to regain indisputable positions, they employ various methods of pressure and blackmail to coerce economically and through the use of information, said Lavrov. So
Go back up to this picture. So what is this right here? Go down a bit so I can read it. It's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which contain Iran, Secretary General, European Union. Now, if you notice one thing about this picture, where is Jake? sitting at the table?
Nowhere. Nada.
Nowhere. So Jake is in nobody's circle of anything when it comes to foreign affairs,
Right.
dictating policies,
Nothing.
anything about power and leading the world. Jake is not even a
We
thought.
ain't there.
Jake is not even a thought. You got every nation up there but Jake. I see Ishmael, I see Moab, Ammon, and of course Esau. You don't see Jake not one place.
That's right.
Down.
Washington and Moscow, rival superpowers during the decades-long Cold War, have somewhat resumed their bout for global influence in the 21st century. Russian President Vladimir Putin has set to restore and revamp his country's military and political posture, which were deeply damaged in the collapse of the Soviet Union, leaving the U.S. entirely unmatched. Despite President Donald Trump's promises of detente, the U.S. has doubled down on sanctions and other measures designed to push back against the Kremlin since the Republican leader entered the White House. Trump and Putin, once seen as potential political allies, have continued to feud over conflicts in Ukraine and Syria, and at times have both found themselves largely isolated internationally. The Trump administration has repeatedly threatened sanctions against several nations, including allies, for not adhering to its policies, targeting state foes such as Iran, North Korea, Syria, and Venezuela.
So what they do, they implement these policies, these embargoes, as we call it, and which forces you, because I heard a camp say that we teach that the embargo is the mark of the beast. Right. No, we don't teach the embargo is the mark of the beast. Right. We teach that the embargo is a consequence. It's a penalty for not accepting the mark. The mark goes into policies, ideologies, religions, politics, which all equals to sin.
Right.
Okay, that's the mark of the beast. Right. All right, not an embargo. We never taught that.
Right.
Okay, an embargo is a penalty. All right, come on, go down.
While Moscow has complained about what it saw as Washington's hegemony around the world, the Trump administration has named Russia an adversary in critical strategy documents, most recently in the 2019 Missile Defense Review.
Because Russia is a superpower in the earth as well. And basically, in order for them to dominate the way they want to dominate, they really got to get Russia out of the way.
Right.
And you know what's crazy? If the Soviet Union never fell, Russia would be even more powerful.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
As Russia worked toward building new nuclear-capable hypersonic and cruise missiles, the U.S. scrambled to build new defenses capable of intercepting them, even from space. In the latest drama, the two countries pulled out of the 1987 Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, banning land-launched missiles ranging from 310 to 3,420 miles after the U.S. accused Russia of violating the agreement with the development of the Navitor 9M729 missile. Moscow counterclaimed that Washington was breaking the treaty by installing missile defenses that could allegedly also be used to attack from Eastern Europe. Now, the two are struggling.
This is why when we read earlier the thing of the conflict over Ukraine, America wants to put missile defenses in Ukraine. And then Putin is like, hell no, absolutely not, because that's right in our back door.
Right.
Come on.
Now the two are struggling to find common ground in renewing the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty that would limit their nuclear arsenals. The U.S. and Russian delegations continue the discussion of practical issues related to the implementation of the treaty, the State Department said Friday after 10 days of talk.
Now, if you notice one thing about, go back up, right there, stop. And you notice one thing right there where it says now the two are struggling to find common ground in renewing the new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, also known as START. That's not going to happen. You know why that's not going to happen? Because Trump right now is trying to implement into legislation that everybody can get a concealed carry as long as you don't have a felony of call. Basically, every state you can get a concealed carry. So if you're doing that for the people, for the masses, if you want to do that for the people, you trying to tell me you're going to disarm the nation?
Right.
when it comes to nuclear power.
Right.
Whoever holds nuclear power swings the sword.
That's right.
Sits on the throne.
That's right.
So you're gonna tell everybody in your kingdom you can get a LTC, right? License to carry, concealed, right? But the nation itself, the military itself, you're gonna start stripping it of nuclear capabilities.
Right.
Because you want to be on the same level with Russia. So if we have, let's say, hypothetically speaking, right now we have 5,000 missiles, nuclear missiles, which we probably have more. But let's say we got like 5,000 nuclear warheads. You're going to tell Russia, okay, you can only have 5,000 as well. You're going to keep it even? No. That's why it's called an arms race.
Exactly.
Right.
Nations are racing to get the most arms. Who can get the better missiles, the one that can't be detected, the ones that travel real fast and has the most when it explodes the most damage.
Right.
That's what's called an arm race.
Right. Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
Esau's the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, man. They just lie and lie and lie and lie. All right.
What's that one that Russia, was it Moab?
The mother of all bombs.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he called it.
Yeah,
That's what they called it.
Satan 2 or something like that.
Yeah, you had Satan 2, and then you had Moab.
Yeah.
Man.
The mother of all bombs.
Yeah, because what you got to realize is after World War II, a lot of the SS scientists, right, which is Teeman, one of the sons of Esau. One day we'll get into that, the whole genealogy breakdown. But Teeman, a lot of Teeman went over there to Russia and lived, and they became scientists over there, and they started working for their military and so forth. All right, so and the Bible calls Teeman what? The wise men.
Right.
Those were the scientists, the wise men of Esau. So guess what, man? Russia got hella nukes. All right, America got it too. America got hella nukes too.
Right.
All right, go down. Is there more on that?
Yeah, that's pretty much
What's that last paragraph right
Last
there?
paragraph. As arms control measures erode between the U.S. and Russia, the world's top two military powers have also found themselves embroiled in a new dispute in a region where Washington had an extensive history of confronting those seemingly aligned with its communist Cold War foe. In Venezuela, the U.S. and its regional allies recognized opposition leader Juan Guaido's political challenge in January to President Nicolas Maduro, a partner of Moscow, fueling a political crisis in a country already beset by a devastating economic collapse.
That's what it's all about. It's all about the current president right now. He's a good friend of Putin.
Right.
Get rid of him.
Right.
Hey,
That's what's going on over there.
It's interesting too because there is I don't know his name. The president in Mexico just recently renewed his treaty or agreement with Russia, right there inside of Mexico. I was just reading this the other day.
Yeah, the president of Mexico is not too. He doesn't. What's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't admire.
He's not
Trump
too
like
fond
that.
of him.
Yeah, he's not too fond of
Right.
of Trump. Go down for a second. There's an article that I seen. I wanted you to click on. Go down all the way down. Right there, click where it says Russia Satan 2 undergoing final test. Can we click on that?
There it is.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.
Russia's most powerful nuclear missile is in final testing stage, and these other weapons are also on their way.
Is there a video?
Yes, sir. This
Satan
thing is
2.
bad, right?
Soon they're gonna have a Satan 3, Satan 4,
Right.
Satan to the 10th power.
Right. Is this the one that flies basically it can't be detected? Is that the Satan 2? It flies like 3 times the speed of light or 10 times.
Hey, look, listen. All of the bombs ain't gonna be detected. The Most High is gonna stop that satellite from working.
That's right.
So all of their they could.
That's
it doesn't
right.
matter what they do. Nothing is gonna be detected.
That's right.
Every single missile that shoot is gonna land.
That's right. More fire, more fire.
Yes, and if you have questions or comments, you can call the number 214-272-0400.
They should be calling in.
Is it going to be able to play? Damn, that ad is 26 seconds.
Right, they run a lot of ads.
Go ahead, y'all brothers
What the
talk.
hell is this? So yeah, but I was watching that though with Mexico, seeing in Mexico, I didn't know Mexico was aligned with so many people. They had a lot of allies, and it looked like the U.S. was pissed and was set to kind of like what they did there in Africa when they gave the ultimatum. Hey, look, either you're gonna deal with them or you're gonna deal with us. You don't deal with us, then again the trade agreement, we'll cut you off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the mark. Yeah. We'll do some stuff to stop our tourist stuff or something.
All right, here it is. Hey, that thing look pretty, man. Hey, can you bring that back a bit? See how that bottom part is That thing look pretty.
The way it got there and floated?
Hey, play that again. Play that again. Play that thing again, man. Play that again.
It's like it just like ejected it.
Yeah, it don't even look real.
Yeah. Boom.
Hey, Cap, that's that waster, ain't it? That's that waster.
Man.
That wasted that noonday. Damn. All right. Hey, get me Revelation 9. Get me Revelation 9:19. Put that back. Hold on. Play that again. Play that again. Play that again. Start at verse 18.
The book of Revelation, chapter 9 and verse 18. By these three was the third part of men killed. By the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths.
All right, the issued out of their mouth, that's talking about where the nuclear warhead is. That's where the nuclear warhead is. Come on.
For their power is in their mouth.
The power of the missile is inside of the nuclear warhead, which is in the front where the mouth is. Come on.
And in their tail.
And in their tail. Press play. Press play again. Press play. 'Cause that's where the power comes from. Look at that burst at the end. Bam. Go ahead. Come on.
For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt.
And their it says, for their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. So when you look at it, press play, and when it comes out, you're gonna hit pause once the whole missile comes out. Press pause right. Well, no, press play, press play. I want a clear view with no smoke. Press play, not yet. Right there's good. So right there, when John the Revelator seen that in the vision, it looks like a serpent. It looks like a snake to him.
Right.
All right, the shape, that slim shape.
Right.
And he's seen the power inside of the warhead. All right, that's why he said what he said. All right, this whole chapter right here is going into destruction, World War III. All right, come on. All praises, man. So Vladimir Putin, all praises to you, brother. Do your thing. Like Al Pacino said, do your thing. Do your thing, Romeo. Do your thing. For real. All right, close that out.
And it's funny because Farrakhan, wanted to try to speak on it, on this thing. Yeah. Bring it, go down, bring it. Yeah, just a little bit. Keep going. Right there. So Louis Farrakhan issued a warning to Trump.
Now, see, I don't understand that. Why would you issue a warning like that?
I don't know.
Right. Unless you want America to continue.
Right.
Unless you don't got faith in the Most High that you will be delivered from Babylon the Great.
And that's exactly what you find in this. So anybody following this is crazy. Because he's basically saying that it doesn't need to happen because he's going to make a very grave mistake and America is going to be destroyed. And so it's basically like him saying, let's stay here. I want to stay
Exactly,
here.
exactly. And you know what's crazy about it? Trump ain't going to listen to him anyway.
Right, right.
You know, go down. Is it a video or?
There's a video.
All right, go ahead.
I think he gave the same warning during the time of the what was Saddam Hussein. But they went in there and found him in a hole.
Hey, this is funny as hell. He says he's not an anti-Semite, which he's not. He's an anti-termite. You know, he caught hell recently about that. You know Angela Rye?
Yeah, yeah.
Remember the text that I sent earlier about her? You know, she was on Charlemagne, one of Charlemagne's shows, and she was basically speaking out against Farrakhan. And she had mentioned that quote. Go ahead.
When they talk about Farrakhan, call me a hater. You know what they do? Call me an anti-Semite. Stop it. I'm anti-termite.
Outrage this morning over Louis Farrakhan's latest message of hate, but it's nothing new for the Nation of Islam leader who has declared, "The Jews are my enemy," quotation, and white folks are going down. So what is it going to take for Democratic leaders to finally denounce his hate
Now,
speech?
once again, remember, Fox News is owned by who? Amalek. Okay, Fox News and CNN too. All of them. It's owned by Amalek. All right. Go ahead.
Jews are my enemy, quotation, and white folks are going down. So what is it going to take for Democratic leaders to finally denounce his hate speech? Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz joins us right now from Michigan with reaction. Alan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, Mr. Farrakhan claims he's not an anti-Semite. He's an anti-termite. What's he talking about?
Well, he's a classic anti-Semite. First of all, the analogy to termites comes right out of the Nazi playbook. Nazis used the word termites consistently to dehumanize Jews and to accuse them of destroying everything good about the world. Farrakhan has been very explicit. He's blamed the Jews for all the problems of the world. He's called Judaism a religion of Satan, and Twitter's made a decision not to ban him. Twitter has to have a single standard.
Right.
If a white supremacist had made a similar statement about African Americans, the question is, would Twitter ban them? It can't have a double standard based on race. And all good people have to come out and condemn, but especially people who participated in the Million Man March in 1995, headed by Farrakhan, which really made him prominent in American politics. People like Barack Obama, who participated in the march and proudly defended it. People like Keith Ellison, who worked closely with Farrakhan. These folks have a special obligation to condemn. Chelsea Clinton, to her credit, went out of her way to condemn Farrakhan remarks. I wish Bill Clinton had done it, because Bill Clinton sat next to Farrakhan at the funeral of Franklin, and he has a special obligation too. So I think silence is not an appropriate response to Farrakhan's bigotry.
Well, and in fact, Alan, Mr. Farrakhan has referred to Hillary Clinton as a wicked woman. He compared her to Hitler as well. So you're disappointed that we haven't heard from black leaders, but you're also disappointed we haven't heard from Democratic leaders as well.
I'm disappointed that all decent people haven't universally gotten together to condemn, but there is a special obligation, just like there's a special obligation of people on the extreme right to condemn the alt-right when they engage in anti-Semitism or bigotry. There's a special obligation of people on the left, of black leaders, of Democratic leaders, go out of their way to condemn this, because Farrakhan has a very large following. And many of his voters do vote Democrat. So there's a special obligation to condemn those who are, quote, speaking on your side of the issue.
But why don't they?
I think there's a fear of losing the base. You know, there are many voters in some parts of the country Followers of Farrakhan in some areas can become swing voters.
Right.
And people don't want to lose their extremes. We're seeing it on the Republican side, too, when some Republicans refuse to condemn the alt-right because they want them as voters. Every American has to get together and say, we don't want haters to vote for us. We want to condemn haters.
Sure.
We want to marginalize them. We want to make sure that they are universally condemned. We don't want them on our side.
Well, let's see if anybody responds. He made the comments a couple of days ago. Alan Dershowitz joining us today from Birmingham, Michigan. Alan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. What do you think about that?
So what do you take? What's the take on that?
Well, I want to bring something out, Kat. If I can bring something out. Hey, can somebody get me Genesis chapter 11? Because the biggest and most craziest thing in the world is that nobody has ever seemed to try to figure out why they keep saying everybody is anti-Semitic. Is there only one Shemite? Is there only one group of people that are the Shem? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out who are the Shemites. So give me Genesis chapter 11 and start at verse number 11.
This is the book of Genesis.
Start at verse 10.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 11 and verse 10. Read out. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was...
Who? Wait. These are who?
These are the generations of Shem.
Meaning Shemitic people? These are the generations of Shemitic people?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Keep reading.
Shem was 100 years old.
Uh-huh.
And he begat Arpax.
Arphaxad?
At 2 years after the flood.
Uh-huh.
And Shem lived after and begat Arpax, and 500 years he begat sons and daughters.
Okay, jump down to verse number 15.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And Shelah lived after and begat Eber.
Now, Eber is the forefather of Hebrew. The term Hebrew comes from the word Eber.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that the people of Eber would be Shemitic people if they came out of Eber. Now, jump down to verse number 23.
Verse 23.
Uh-huh.
And Serug lived after he begat Nahor.
Now, Nahor is the father of Terah. Terah is the father of Abraham. So that means that anybody that came out of Shem, out of all of these people that we named, then we get down to Abraham, jump down to verse number 27.
Verse 27. Now these are the generations of Terah.
Uh-huh.
Terah begat Abraham.
Uh-huh.
And Nahor.
Uh-huh.
And Hermon.
So Abraham, Nahor, or Abram, Nahor, and Haran, meaning these people came out of Shem. So there's not just one Semitic person on earth. And if Louis Farrakhan comes from the so-called Negro, the Negro is the tribe of Judah. Judah is Semitic.
That's right.
So he cannot be anti his own people.
Absolutely. But he cleared it up. He said, I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm anti-termite.
Anti-termite.
And this is the real reason why they despise this guy. But we know behind the scenes who they're really going to come after next.
Mm-hmm.
Get me Amos 5 and 10 real quick. Get me Amos 5 and 10.
Yes, sir.
Because what they like to do on these news stations, they like to play sound bites. They don't put things in context. They don't put the whole thing out there. They just like to play on people's emotions.
That's right.
All right? Give me Amos 5 and 10 real quick.
The book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 10. They hate him that rebuke in the gate.
Now we're not talking about the law, statutes, and commandments, because obviously our brother Louis Farrakhan is in error with the whole Islam stuff.
That's
and it's
right.
total confusion, because 1 minute you have a speech talking about we're the children of Israel, but you're still under the guise of Islam, which is just straight madness. However, the stuff that he brings out about Amalek is 100% true.
Right.
100% true. All right, and this is why they hate him. Read that again.
They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh upright. Abhor him that speaketh uprightly.
That's why you had Rabbi Shmuley and all these other people came out of their wits to what? Get him off of Facebook, which that really ain't going to stop him.
Right.
You know, Facebook, Twitter, and all of that. You know, because they hate him that speaks uprightly. And everything he's been saying thus far about Amalek is true. All you have to do is go back and do the research.
That's right.
You know?
Right.
It's crazy when people start to we have to ban people and try to silence them, call them anti-Semite when they speak so-called truth to power. You know.
Right.
It's
Right.
crazy,
Right.
crazy.
And the whole world is going for it. Like all of these scholars, right? All of these wise men, and nobody's saying, wait a minute, there's other groups of Semites. So we should shut you down for calling him anti-Semitic because we know that there's more than one group of Semites. But they won't do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we speak about the power though.
Well, you know what we got to do? We got to bring that out. You know, because the Negroes we should be using that. When
That's
people
right.
call us
Right.
nigga and call us out of our name, that's being anti-Semite.
Anti-Semitic.
So I'm not even gonna say you're being racist.
Right.
No more.
Right.
I ain't using that no more.
No, I'm using anti-Semitic.
You come up against us, you're being an anti-Semite.
Anti-Semitic. That's right.
All right.
I need a T-shirt that says that. You're anti-Semitic.
Exactly.
That's right.
That'll make a great shirt.
Yes, sir.
Shema, come up with
Let's
an
do that.
idea for that.
Let's do that, Cap.
Come up with an idea for that.
Anti-Semitic.
All right.
That's right.
You talk about Mexicans, you talk about Hispanic, guess what? You're anti-Semite.
You're
You talk about
anti-Semite.
Negroes, you're an anti-Semite.
Anti-Semite.
All right.
Hey, Cap. Speaking of T-shirts, I saw this Esau, this Edomite, right? He's saying he had a shirt that said, "I can use the N-word because my shirt is black." I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
Did you get that? Did you get that?
No, I didn't get that.
He said he can use the N-word. This is what his shirt said. His T-shirt.
Because his shirt is black.
Because my shirt is black.
Wow. And he was walking around Dallas with that? Or was
It's crazy.
This,
It was just out. I just saw it somewhere.
Oh wow.
I was
crazy.
just right.
Damn.
So
The boldness.
So all that anti-Semitism that they use against us, you know what I mean, on the slide.
Absolutely.
We should
man.
start saying that.
It's a damn shame.
Yeah.
But all right. Brendan, take this down. What else we got?
All right. So now, Shema, what? Oh. The hot thing going right now is this whole discussion about abortion.
Oh, okay.
Oh, these women are hot that they can't kill their babies right now.
What is it Jake or Esau?
Well, Esau passed the bill. Alabama did it, then Arkansas did it. Now other states are following. They're banning abortion, and they're actually making it illegal in some states. So Jake is upset at the new new abortion bans that are being placed in these states. So all over the internet, people are going wild.
Right.
Women are. As a matter of fact, I've never seen so many Jake sisters say that their brothers' penises need to be cut off.
Yeah, hey, you had
hell is
Melissa, what is it? Alyssa Milano?
Right,
She played in Who's the Boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she came out with a woman should have a strike on sex.
Right.
Until they figure out this abortion thing. She said all women should not have sex with
Right.
their husbands no more because of this whole thing.
They crazy.
Then you had another nut job. I don't know if she was either Southern Kingdom or Northern, but she was an Israelite. Remember the video we played? Couple of episodes when she was like, "My right, my body."
Yeah.
My
She looked Northern
right,
Kingdom.
my body.
Yeah, we can't claim her. We got to give her.
And
a
then the
Northern
Edomite was like, "Yo, what are you talking about?" The Edomite was like, "Yo, you make no sense. It takes two to make a baby." And she was like, then she compared to him masturbating in a sock.
Right.
She said, when you masturbate in a sock, that's the same thing. No. I'm like, what? Don't you need the egg? And I ain't even gonna go into that. But a sock? Like, where do you get this whole sock thing? And then, don't you need an egg and a sperm to make a baby?
To make a baby.
It's crazy. My right, my
If you
body.
impregnate a sock. That's
Crazy.
the new hot thing.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah,
Esau
hey.
done corrupted the minds of our people.
Right.
But what's this right here?
So Arkansas passes law allowing rapists to prevent victims who want an abortion.
Wow.
So Arkansas took it a stretch further.
That's far.
Yeah.
Because
Now-
nobody wants an unwanted, especially if it's for rape.
Right. And so this one I pulled because it was a little bit older, but I wanted to touch it because I remember the story. In light of all of the new states, Arkansas had already done this in 2017, but they're ramping it up in 2019 as a geopolitical issue, something on the table. So Arkansas passes law allowing rapists to prevent victims who want an abortion. A pregnant woman's husband will have the power. Now look at where this goes, because in the article, in the title, you're thinking just the guy off the street that rapes you, right? Yeah. A pregnant woman's husband will have the power to stop her from having an abortion, even in cases of spousal rape.
You have got to be kidding me. You hear this? You hear this madness?
Man, it's madness.
Spousal rape.
Spousal rape.
The hell is this?
Oh, unbelievable, man.
So the husband is not supposed to be able to say, hey, babe, look, we're keeping the baby. No, that's wrong.
How the hell does a husband...
Right.
This is America.
It's land of confusion.
A pregnant woman's husband will have the power to stop her from having an abortion, even in cases of spousal rape, under a new law introduced in the U.S. state of Arkansas. Most second trimester abortions will also be banned by Act 45, the Unborn Child Protection from Dismemberment Abortion Act.
You know, wow. You know what's crazy? Wow. You know what's crazy with the title? The title beguiles you. It tricks you because I'm thinking if some, a sister walking on the street, maybe late at night to go home, and it's some dude grabs her up, pulls in the alley, beats her up, and rapes her.
Right.
Something like that, that's between her and the Lord.
Right.
You know what she wants to do. But to say that your husband, that's crazy. Give me 1 Corinthians 7, verse 3.
Yes, sir. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse 3. Read out. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband.
So what is that saying? You cannot hold sex from your spouse.
That's
right. All right? We don't want to hear you got a headache. We don't want to hear your back hurt.
Right.
You're sick.
Right.
All right? If your husband wants some buns, you got to give him some buns.
Give him
and vice versa.
Right.
Okay? Vice versa.
Right.
That's what God said.
Exactly. That's what the scripture says. Unless it comes to what? Fasting and prayer. You both come to an agreement.
Right.
You know? It could be something where, like, you have a lot of sisters during their pregnancy. Sometimes the sex might hurt.
Right.
So that's something you and your husband, you sit down, you talk about, as long as y'all come to agreement. But to say that a husband could rape a pregnant, man, this is madness, man.
Right.
Only America. Just reading it is confusion. I'm stumbling my words and stuttering. This is just straight babble.
Right.
Just confusion.
Right.
Crazy.
Babylon. Read the rest of this, Cap.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 4. The wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband.
You hear that? The wife don't have. Read that again.
The wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband.
I thought this was a God-fearing country. What happened to in God? They need to reprint the dollar, man. Just reprint it. Put in Satan we trust.
Exactly.
Right.
Or put in gold, oil, and drugs we trust.
That's right. And likewise also, the husband hath not power of his own body, but the wife.
So how come they don't pass a law? How come they didn't say well, that's going to sound stupid. Forget it. Well, go ahead. It's just retarded, man. It's just retarded.
Most second trimester abortions will also be banned by Act 45, the Unborn Child Protection from Dismemberment Abortion Act, which will make it possible for husbands to sue doctors who carry out abortions for civil damages or get an injunction to block the termination. The pro-life law, which was pushed through in just 2 months by the state's Republican government, prohibits all dilation and evacuation procedures in which the physician removes the fetus from the womb with surgical tools.
Wow. That's crazy. Hey, hold on. Go back down a bit.
Yeah,
go back down. Click on wait, too fast. Click on college grad. I want to see this. What was the...
See how they owned them?
Go down. All right, let me read this. Go up. I can't read it. You got to go up. All right. It's 0.2 inches big, has a tail, and is a good 18 weeks from being able to survive outside a womb. It is not at all like a full-size baby. It's an embryo months away from developing into something approaching viability. That's from Emily M. This is 2 weeks late on your period. 2 weeks late has arms and legs forming, fingers and toes, and heartbeat. If it has a heartbeat, long story short, it's a living organism.
Yes.
It's an organism, plain
Yes.
and simple. So I don't know what the hell Emily said about anything. These people, man, just close your damn legs.
Right.
Stop being a whore, like the Bible says. And you don't got to worry about no abortion.
That's right.
All right?
And Cap, and one of the big reasons, so most of the states are passing the laws, and in the law, it says that the baby, it has something to do with a 6-week period. And they're upset because they're saying most of the time you won't even know that you're pregnant. So it's almost like they gave a leeway saying, hey, you can do it, but it has to be less than 6 weeks. And everybody's in an uproar because they're saying, well, we don't even know, at the 6-week mark that we're pregnant sometimes. So
Well,
they're
if you-
arguing.
Yeah, it's retarded, man. Retarded. Close that down, man. Esau is a devil. What else do you expect? All right, what's the next one?
The next one. So Trayvon Martin's mother is pretty interesting. Open that up. Trayvon Martin's mother is actually running for office in Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, she decided she's going to run for office. This was just announced a couple of days ago. And there's a short video here.
I think some of our brothers down there were able to get a fly into her hand.
All praises.
All praises.
I'm not, if it's either Trayvon Martin or Marcus, what's his name? Marcus Brown? What was his name? The brother that got shot?
Yeah, and
Michael Brown.
Michael Brown, yeah.
Michael is one of those two.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she's running for office. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that, if the people rally behind her or not. But she's trying to uphold something. Now we know, of course, the scriptures say that voting for anybody that's not of our own people, and they're not gonna let her do much. So we got a volume for this.
Confinement ahead of his trial. The mother of Trayvon Martin, the black teenager killed in a shooting in 2012, is running for office in Florida. In a statement, Sabrina Fulton announced Saturday that she'll run for a seat on the Miami-Dade County Commission. Since her son's death, Fulton has become an outspoken anti-gun violence activist and created a nonprofit organization in his name. Trayvon Martin was killed when he was 17 years old. He was shot by a neighborhood watch volunteer who was acquitted after claiming it was self-defense. You might recall Martin's death sparked the...
What happened? Okay. All right, that's all right, you can close it. So what you were going to say on that, brothers?
Yeah, so I'm saying it'll be interesting to see. But there's one thing that I'd be interested to know is where her heart is. Can you give me Judges 5 and 9? Judges 5 and 9, because what I think will happen is a lot of sisters, of course, the black woman and the Hispanic woman, they'll rally, and they may even make a big push to try to get her in there, right?
Now, is that considered as a job when you get a seat in that particular office? Do they pay you for it?
County commissioner. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I'm not certain.
Okay.
Because most of those they don't get paid, So,
right.
but it just all depends, I guess. But I'm quite certain she's doing it because of the passion, because of the death of her son. So she won't try to change the
some
best
changes in the community.
Right.
But we have people that sit on lower positions of office.
Right.
We don't condemn, but we don't that get paid. We don't. They get paid.
They get paid.
Well, so more power to her, man. She wants to make a change in the community, But first and foremost, our brothers and sisters need the scriptures.
That's right.
But if it's to anything to bring down white supremacy, I'm all for it.
Exactly.
And she's getting paid for it, so that can be like a part-time job for her, or possibly even full-time. So
that's right.
I can't say anything against that.
That's right. That's right.
Full-time job.
Full-time. Oh, all right. Damn, 6 figures too. All right. More praises.
All
man.
praises.
All right. I hope she finds some kind of relief. But like Jay-Z said, man, everybody's talking this, talking that, but George Zimmerman's still walking.
Right.
So
What the hell is this?
Right.
That's,
Judge 5 and 9.
crazy.
Judges chapter 5. Start at verse number 7, because this is about our foremother Deborah. This is a song that
Deborah.
Deborah. Yes, sir. Deborah. And this is a song that she was singing. And I want our sisters to understand what our foremothers said, where their hearts were, and how they functioned and operated as a people. Read that.
This book of Judges, chapter 5, verses 7.
Read out.
And the habitations of the villages increased. Hold on.
No.
The inhabitants of the villages ceased. And the ceased in Israel until that I, Deborah, arose. That I arose, a mother in Israel.
So Deborah rose up because at the time there was no activity going on in Israel, and the Most High put a spirit on her, and she rose up and began to say certain things. So she did not lead Israel, but she did have the spirit on her to go and to make aware some of the men in Israel that there was something that needed to be done. Keep reading.
Verse 8. They chose new gods.
So they started following new gods. They started going off into idolatry. Read.
Then was war in the gates.
And because they turned away from God, remember God said that he would turn his back and return to his place until we came back to him, right? Read.
Was there a shield or spear seen among 40,000 in Israel?
So the men weren't getting up and fighting against the other nations that were coming against Israel. She's saying there wasn't a spear or a sword raised. Did anybody raise a hand? Are the men fighting at all? Read.
Verse 9. My heart is toward the governors of Israel.
What did our foremother Deborah say?
My heart is towards the governors of Israel.
So her heart was towards the leaders. So even though the men were not doing everything they were supposed to do, she still had a heart towards the men, towards the order that God set in Israel. And she did not just go out and try to take power and lead the nation of Israel as a woman and lead them, by the hand of God herself. Her heart was towards, read that again.
My heart is toward the governors of Israel.
Read.
That offered themselves willingly among the people.
So these men offered themselves willingly among the people. So all praises the sister is has a spirit on her to run, and Most High bless.
Yeah, she wants to benefit her people, man. And like we said, we hope she gets some kind of closure with her son, because I know that thing is still tormenting her.
Oh yeah,
right. But Lord willing, she repents as well.
That's right.
Click on that right there where it says Trayvon Martin's mother recalls opening Pandora's box to the bottom. Right there. Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Pandora's box.
It's got to be hard, Cap. Isn't Zimmerman doing stupid stuff like signing Skittles bags and stuff like that for like $1,500 or something?
Bro,
that's got to hurt. That's got to hurt. I can't even imagine.
And even the sick people that's going to him to do it.
Right. Right.
It just shows how much they hate us, that's all.
Yeah, they sold that gun.
Is this playing?
Yeah, they sold that gun that Zimmerman used to kill him. I think it sold for like $1 million or something.
Wow.
Yeah, they auctioned the gun off, man, and somebody bought the gun that was used to murder that kid.
The Most High said
I'm not surprised, because if you have rumors of Nat Turner's bag made out of Nat Turner's skin floating around Hampton, Virginia still.
True.
Right.
Remember these are the same people that used to cut off our ears, nose, penises, and hang them up in the house.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not surprised at that.
Right.
Exactly.
I read something recently where they were taking women's breasts and making coin purses out of them or something.
Yeah,
breast and testicles.
These people evil.
Men's testicles. And
that's
was
crazy,
them.
bro.
Yeah.
Mind it.
That's crazy. What happened? Computer shut off?
2.5 years before Ferguson, the shooting death of Trayvon Martin was a call to action for many people in this country. The unarmed teenager was 17 years old, and he was shot and killed in 2012 by George Zimmerman, who claimed he was attacked and that he fired in self-defense. Zimmerman was tried and acquitted of all charges. Now, Trayvon Martin's parents, that's Sabrina Fulton and Tracy Martin, have teamed up with Jay-Z on the new 6-part docuseries. It's called Rest in Power, the Trayvon Martin story. It chronicles Trayvon's death and the protest movement that emerged after it. Earlier this year, Tracy and Sabrina were honored in New York's Cathedral of St. John the Divine for their activism. We met with Sabrina there yesterday. You and Tracy received an award in this church.
I decided I could not let my son's death be in vain.
And I've heard you say, if it was up to you, none of us would know your name, none of us would know Trayvon's name. So how have you reconciled that now everybody knows you, everybody knows your story?
I chose to live, number one. I chose to move to my next chapter because if my son had died and I had died also and I was just walking around the earth not doing anything, then I would be dead too.
He slid a crime scene photo to me and asked, was that my son?
I was reluctant to, even speak, even to be the voice of my son, which seems like that's the natural thing to do, is to speak for Trayvon, who's not here. But I didn't want to. I just felt so weak and hopeless and helpless. God really had to work on me to strengthen me, to get me to speak up for other people, to speak up for my son, to speak up for myself.
Sabrina Fulton can still recall the moment 6 years ago when she learned that her 17-year-old son, Trayvon Martin, was shot and killed.
They say that time heals all wounds. It does not.
By Neighborhood Watch volunteer George Zimmerman. Zimmerman claimed self-defense.
My son was innocent. My son was the victim. My son didn't shoot and kill anyone. He didn't even own a gun. People look at the situation, they get angry with it, but we have to get angry to the point that we're doing something about it, and that's what I did.
The death of your son, Trayvon Martin, certainly launched a movement. What was it like for you the first time you went anywhere and you saw crowds, thousands of people saying, I am Trayvon Martin, or screaming his name? How did you process that?
Well, it was here in New York.
This is not about a black and white thing. This is about a right and wrong thing.
But you look so strong during that time, and I often marvel, does she feel as strong as she looks?
I did not. They didn't see me when I was very emotional. They didn't see me when I was depressed. And so where so many people were telling me how strong I was, I didn't feel it on the inside. And so I started speaking to myself. I started speaking to God. I started saying to myself, I am strong. I am strong. And then I started to feel like I really was strong.
How do you grieve and recover from the death of a child?
I think I had a great deal of support. Early on, I started reaching out to other mothers that had kids that were victims of senseless gun violence, and it kind of took the edge off of what I was going through. I had so many people that were positively lifting me up. Even now, through my difficult days, when I have my bad days, and
you still have bad days?
Absolutely. I'm gonna have bad days the rest of my life. But because it feels like something.
What is a bad day? You're triggered by a memory, or what is it?
It doesn't really have to be a memory. It doesn't have to be something that I saw. I could wake up that morning and just have.
That's a real retarded question. Right. The sister lost her son. And you talking about, are you triggered by a memory? Of course she's triggered by a memory. What the hell you think she's talking about?
Right.
Or something falling on her toe? It's retarded. Go ahead. How long is this?
8 minutes.
All right, cut it down.
Yeah. They just want to see emotions. That's why they do that.
That's the job of journalists anyway.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was going to go straight to the evidence. I thought they were going to let us see the evidence.
All right, close that out. So like we said before, we hope the sister finds some kind of comfort, all right? What else we have?
Let me see. We're going, yeah. Shema, this.
What we got?
Yeah, because I'm told, I thought they said it was something Australian, man. You better get that one, bro.
All praise. Let's go into that. Let's go into the billionaire Robert Smith. He did a wonderful thing, man, for the sons up at Morehouse.
This brother's worth $5 billion, right? That's his net worth.
Wow,
$5 billion. All
That's
right.
a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So is it a video? Let's play the video first. I think we got a video. Did we send
I
the
don't
video?
read enough because I didn't know who this guy was. So I have to be honest.
Okay. Go.
It says philanthropist and billionaire, Robert F. Smith.
Go ahead, Yaku.
All right. All right. Getting something free in America can still end up costing you something. Those free T-shirts that credit card companies give to college students can sometimes result in paying on high interest debt for years. The invitation for a free meal that includes information about managing your money in retirement is often just a sales pitch for an investment product that is likely to be overpriced, unnecessary, or, in the worst case, a scam. In 2004, Oprah Winfrey famously gave a car to each of her 276 audience members to celebrate a season premiere of her talk show. You get a car. You get a car. Everybody gets a car.
Damn, that sounds mighty familiar. You get a car, and you get a car. Who said that? Wasn't that the scam artist? One of the scam artists? Was it Ty Lopez?
Ty
right?
Lopez.
You get a car.
Yeah.
And you get a car. Yeah, everybody gets a car.
That's right.
But where the cars at? Where the cars at, man? Where the Lambo? Where the Porsche? Where the Ferrari at? Where is it?
Yeah.
Where's the Aston Martin? I don't see it.
Right.
I just see. All I see is a Honda Civic. And Ubers. And Lyfts. So the you get a car was a scam.
It was a scam.
Damn. Right? You got to fake it till you make it, baby.
Damn.
Right.
Go ahead.
I've heard that before.
But for many, the excitement turned to some disappointment when they realized that their new Pontiac G6 sedan would come with a hefty tax bill. Turns out that show's giveaway was part of a promotion by General Motors for the now defunct Pontiac brand. This made the $28,500 car a prize, not a gift. When you win money, like in a lottery, or an item like a car, you owe ordinary income taxes on the value of the prize. Winfrey's giveaway was intended for audience members who desperately needed a car. So it's understandable that some weren't completely happy about having to pay taxes on something they thought was free. Winners who worried about how to pay the tax could trade down for a less expensive model, thus reducing taxes owed. Take out a loan to cover the tax bill using the car as collateral, or accept the vehicle and then sell it to raise the money needed to pay the IRS. Damn.
So either way it go, you still gonna be.
Look, so you get the car, you sell the car, and then give the government some money for the car you don't have no more.
Pretty much.
Damn.
Yeah. For the people that need a car, which means they're gonna be in debt if they keep the car, or if they don't keep the car,
Right.
you're still gonna be in debt.
Damn. So when philanthropists and billionaires, I just had a thought. I was reading about Christ today about taxes when he asked, who is it that doesn't pay taxes? The children or
Right.
Yeah. That just brought that to mind, man. So when philanthropist and billionaire Robert F. Smith recently announced that he was paying off all the student loans of the 2019 graduating class of Morehouse College, I wondered whether this was a repeat of the Winfrey win. Would Smith's altruism still leave students with a debt to pay to Uncle Sam? My family is going to create a grant to eliminate your student loans, Smith told the graduates during his Sunday commencement speech at the historically black college in Atlanta. Smith is founder and chief executive of Vista Equity Partners, a private equity firm focused on investing in software and technology-enabled businesses. But Smith's largest C could be, depending on how the money is given, the rare gift that is truly free. In the nonsensical tax code, it's the giver, not the receiver, who might get a tax bill. Unlike Oprah's audience, the Morehouse students may not receive a 1099 miscellaneous IRS form, which is issued when a prize is valued at more than $600. The receipt of a gift excluded from income, regardless of the amount or the source, said Eric Bronnenkamp, head of tax at the online financial advisor Betterment. Assuming the payment of the graduate student loans is classified as a gift, it would be income tax free. So that's good.
All praises.
Yeah, all praises. So the brother's heart is towards his people.
Right.
All praises.
So if the brother's doing a good thing, man, he should be getting more publicity than people trying to act like it's something negative. Because if he sincerely wants to do this, man, let him do it, and we should be praising him, and it should be over all types of social media, the news media, it should be everywhere.
Right.
Because when a so-called African American does something that's not so positive, we are splattered all over the news. Right. So when we do something positive, we barely get the media attention. So I mean, just time out for that negative stuff. We should be bigging up that brother, man, and pray to the Most High that he repent, and pray some of the brothers that he helping to get a college education, hoping they repent.
That's right.
I mean, this can turn to be a good thing. Education, and more business-minded men, less men's in prison.
Right.
Right.
You know what I wish? I wish in 2003 they would have invited him to NSU, Norfolk State University, to speak to the graduates, because I was part of that class.
That's right.
I wouldn't have all these damn loans.
That's right. That's
crazy.
right.
Here's
all
the video.
praises, man. That brother, I forgot what he does. I don't know if he's a hedge fund manager, but he $5 billion, man. That's great.
Yeah.
So all praises to the Most High, man.
All praises.
So there's gonna be a lot of happy black students. They don't got to pay back no student loans, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, hopefully he can help them get jobs.
Right.
Depending on what they majored in,
The beauty is that it said that if he does it the way that he would do it, that they would not have to pay any income tax still. So he's actually setting it up to where they would walk away free and clear, not paying a dime for that education.
Yeah, that's good, man. Esau, keep an eye out for this brother, because I know Esau don't like stuff like that.
Right. Play the video. Let's see it.
You have the power within to be great, be you, be unstoppable, be undeniable, and accomplish the things that people thought you never would.
For the nearly 400 graduates at Morehouse College, Sunday was the beginning of their next chapter. Billionaire investor and philanthropist Robert Smith was offering words of wisdom.
Treat all people with dignity, even if you can't see how they're going to help you.
But then something incredible that none of them saw coming.
This is my class, 2019. And my family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
You seen the look? You seen the look of the person sitting behind him? He was like, "What the?" He was like, he was smiling. He said, "What the hell?" You know what he was thinking? Damn.
Why not my class?
Why not me? Why not my graduating class? Look at that brother right there.
Right.
Hey, put the arrow on him. Put the arrow on him. Now watch his face. See, you see that big smile? He's happy. Now watch this. Go ahead, press play.
Student loans.
He's like, what the hell?
As students at
He
the
was like,
historically
man. He was like, damn it.
Right.
I missed it by 10 years.
Yeah,
right. Hey, play that again. Because, hey, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, damn. I wish you would have been there in 2003.
Right.
Go ahead.
As students at the historically black college for men realized he'd pay off all their loans, a gift worth an estimated $40 million, the cheers grew louder.
$40 million out.
Computer
Hey, look,
science.
40 mil. Man, that's nothing to him. To us, that's a lot. Of course, it's a lot. But this man is not rich. He's wealthy. He's in a different bracket. So 40 mil, that's like a toilet paper to him. And it might be a tax write-off for him, too. Wow. It might be. I'm not sure.
So that
might be a tax write-off for him.
He can handle that with ease.
40 mil.
Right.
That's like this.
Right.
Here, hold that.
Right.
Go ahead. Take care of that.
Full take a gas.
Right.
Crazy.
What's crazy is, okay.
You know how much stress, not to cut you off, you know
Yes,
how much stress that alleviates?
Yeah.
Knowing that 60,000, 70, 80,000 you have to cough up for undergrad, you don't have to pay that no more.
Right.
Because then there's interest on top of that too.
Exactly.
You know, and that's what a lot of us are going through.
Right.
You graduate with $60,000 in college loans, and then let's say you go into what they call deferment or forbearance. Your interest usually is as much as the monthly payment. So if let's say you had to pay $600 to $800 a month, usually that interest is $800, $600 a month.
Right.
So now you graduate with $60,000, but now you owe them what? 100 plus.
Right.
That's what happened to a lot of people by way of Sally Mae. I don't know if people is familiar with that. I know
Thank
brothers
you,
and
Sally
sisters
Mae.
online. Y'all familiar with Sally Mae? They changed the name now to Navient. Constantly blowing up my phone. But
Same
yeah, so hey, all praises to those graduates. Where's Morehouse at? Atlanta, right?
Atlanta, yeah, it's
I'm pretty
Atlanta.
sure they probably bumped
Yeah,
into IUIC over there. Hopefully they picked up a few flyers they could repay.
Hey, Cap, a lot of parents are happy, man. So some older man that's been working his whole life, now he can retire.
Yeah, because a lot of those loans were what they call Parent Plus loans.
Exactly.
So it's in the name of the parent, but it's for the student.
Right.
So now the parents don't have to worry about that. That's a very good gesture what that man did. You know what I'm saying? 40 million from his company is nothing. It's like a penny. All right. Go ahead. Press play.
And math major Ernest Holmes was about to leave school with $10,000 of debt.
It was like a moment of disbelief, and then it went right into tears and laughs and hugs and crying because, like, it
So
really
for him to
is going
graduate with just 10,000, he probably had some grants already, or he probably had what they call it's called a work study program, where you can work somewhere within the campus, and the money that you make, you can use that towards your tuition. Go ahead.
change the lives of many students.
Robert Smith, who founded a private equity firm, is worth an estimated $5 billion, according to Forbes, making him the nation's richest African American. He made the generous decision to help the graduates after speaking with some of them the day before his speech.
Robert Smith essentially said to our students, I'm going to make you free to follow your passions.
Smith urging the graduates to pay it forward.
You know why they say that? Give me Baruch 3 and 8. Why did he use those words? Why did he say, I'm going to make you free to follow your passion? Because a lot of us, whether it be postgraduate school or whatever you're going to school for medicine, law, you are a slave to that debt.
That's right.
Money is a defense, but money can bind you. What do I say about, what do I mean by that? A lot of us have credit card debt, right? Credit just running, always credit card. You become a slave to that thing,
Right,
Because
right.
you got to pay the money back that you spent plus interest.
Right.
Then it could, if you have, it could mess up your credit sometimes,
Right.
So that's why he said, I'm gonna make you free of that. You go to work. The money that you get is for you. You know, you could invest with that money. You could do as you please. You don't have to worry about giving back some student loan company or paying back the banks.
Right.
All right, read that.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
And to be subject to payments.
Right.
So what did he do? He tried to alleviate some of that burden. Now we're still in captivity,
right?
Okay. But he's trying to alleviate some of that burden for these brothers. That's
Right.
why he used those words. What he said, I'm gonna make you free.
Right.
All right. So you can pursue your dreams, meaning whatever career you decide to do, you don't have to worry about 1/3 or 2/3 of that paycheck going to Esau.
Right.
You know, although you still got to pay taxes.
Right.
But not going to some student loan. All right. So all praises. That's good news.
That's
That's good
real
news.
good news.
All right. Hopefully that brother repent. We might have to send him a letter. Hey,
Right.
take down his name, send him a letter.
Right.
All right, so he can help push this truth, even if he has to be behind the scenes.
Right.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So FHA, I think it's Nailnet.
And that's
Nailnet.
scriptural for those of you online. Oh, look at them. They're trying to reach out to him because he has money. Stupid. The scriptures say money is a defense. And
That's
it also
right.
says to command them that are what? Rich to help us out. Where's that scripture? I'm butchering the scripture. Bid them, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about? That means no. Everybody's silent up here. So that means they don't know.
I don't know
Who
the
knows the
scripture.
scripture? I know it's in Timothy somewhere, right? Thank you.
There
Thank
it
you,
is.
Soldier Jonathan.
There it is.
Let's read that.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6 and verse 17. Charge them that are rich in this
Charge
world.
them. That means command them, not ask. Tell them straight up, we need help. And we do need help trying to push this truth.
That's right.
All right, we're trying to start our own school. We're trying to start this, start that. We need help, with the traveling that we're doing, reaching out to the four corners of the earth.
Right.
That takes money. You had a dumb idiot that used to sit up here telling people alms could be a donation, alms could be a Gatorade or water.
Right.
How the hell we gonna keep the lights on in this place? We're gonna call Elam,
Right.
our landlord, and say, excuse me, Mr. Gandhi. I know the rent is due, but I have about $2,000 here worth in Gatorade. Can I please give you that?
No, sir. I need my money. No, sir. I need my money.
No, sir. Give me the money for
No,
me.
sir.
Right.
Come to pay for me. But this is the stuff that we hear. I'm like, yo, good Lord. Like, that's when brothers end up bouncing. I don't feel a certain way because I'm like, yo, your mind wasn't right in the first place.
Right.
You're going to tell brothers, we trying to collect alms as a body, but you putting it out there. Brother, just bring that Gatorade. Put that Gatorade in here.
Right.
Hey,
right.
could that box right there, could that fit a Gatorade? Put your Gatorade up here, brother. That's your arms.
Yeah.
He's simple as hell.
The hell is this?
Simple ass. All right, come on.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6 and verse 17. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded.
Don't be high-minded. Charge them, come on.
Nor trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God.
But in the living God. Man. Okay, and we're going to do right by your monies.
That's right.
Okay, we're going to do right by it.
That's right.
All right. Okay, what else we got?
Let's see.
What's that? Hold on, go down. Robert Smith.
Robert Smith.
That's the name.
Yes,
Robert
sir.
Smith. Say, send that brother a letter.
Go up. What we got? Go up. Click on that right. Click on the
Soldier
Wikipedia.
St. Michael.
Right.
The black billionaire. Yeah, that does look like him, right?
Try to tell you.
So
It look like Soldier St. Michael.
yeah, click.
Split image.
Hey, who's this?
Click
Shamar?
click that Wikipedia. It was just telling you how many black billionaires was it. It's almost like around 2,000 billionaires in the world today, and it's about 11 so-called black African Americans.
Right.
Yeah. You got that, Yaku?
Yes, sir. Black billionaires are individuals of black African ancestry with a net worth of at least U.S. $1 billion. According to Forbes 2018 ranking of the world's billionaires, Nigeria business magnate Aliko Dangote, with a net worth of $13.8 billion, is the world's richest black person. Others on the list are Nigeria's Mike Adenuga, with $4.6 billion, American media mogul Oprah Winfrey, with a net worth of $2.8 billion.
You get a car looking.
Yeah. South African gold magnate Patrice Motsepe with $2.9 billion. Nigeria's Folorunsho Alakija with $2.5 billion, and Mo Ibrahim, a British billionaire of Sudanese Nubian ancestry, who has been on the Forbes billionaire list since 2008, and in 2012 had a net worth of $1.1 billion. In the years since, American investor Robert Smith.
That's our brother right there that gave those grants to the brothers at Morehouse.
Yeah. In the years since, American investor Robert Smith, with a net worth of $4.4 billion, and America's sports executive Michael Jordan, with $1.65 billion, have risen to the list. In 2018, Smith was ranked by Forbes as the 163rd richest person in America. He was number 480 on Forbes' 2018 list of world's billionaires with a net worth of $4.4 billion.
All right, all praises to the Most High. Hopefully these brothers repent and sisters repent. All praises to the Most High, man.
But all of those Nigerian names, Cap.
Yeah, majority of them, from Africa. But I mean, they Israel. Why you?
No, I'm just tripping because how they ain't got water in their country right now,
man?
Because they full of, and they gotta repent,
right?
You know, and they gotta repent. All right, so we gonna end it on that. We're gonna end it on a good note. I see you got the Jake bugged out police officer. We ain't gonna read that. We're gonna end it on a good note today. All right. So all praises to the Most High. Thank you for tuning in. Please, brothers and sisters, subscribe to In the Scripts in Dallas. In the Scripts on YouTube. In the Scripts Dallas on YouTube. Subscribe to IUIC Dallas on YouTube. And also subscribe to the IUIC Dallas Facebook page.
That's right.
All right. Continue to support. We love you, brothers and sisters. Y'all stay in the spirit. Shalom.
Shalom.
You are listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.